My wife's family chillingly believes that if her sister were alive, I'd have married her instead. My wife and I, 33M, have been married for almost 2 years now and we have a little baby boy. I love my wife more than my own life and I believe that in any lifetime I would still find her and fall in love with her. My wife had an older sister, Mia, that passed away at 11 months old from a landslide collapsing on their home. She died before my wife was born. They're the only 2 daughters in a family of boys. When I met her family for the first time, everyone was nice, but it got weird when all they would talk about was their late daughter. My Emil even showed me photo albums of Mia which took about 2 hours to get through. I never thought anything of it then, and as much as I loved getting to know my wife's family, I would be more interested in seeing baby photos of my wife, but I just brushed it off. At dinner they wouldn't stop talking about how if Mia was alive she would be smarter or even prettier than my wife. I would look at my wife when they said those things, but she would just agree with them. When we got married the whole process was filled with, Mia would love this, Mia would look great in this, Mia would be more buxom than wife's name, her grandma. My wife would nod and agree each time they said something like this, that even my mother felt something was wrong. I talked to her before about this and she said, I know she's barely lived, but I know if she was alive she would be so beautiful, smart. I know deep down if you met her, you would love her and not me. I had to trick her to get into therapy because something was definitely wrong and maybe she was brainwashed. Life was great for 2 years since we moved 8 hours away from my in-laws for my job, but since my BIL just got engaged, my wife is involved in the planning, and just like they did at our wedding, they wanted to plan a memorial for Mia, which is totally fine. Except that they weren't including her grandparents that had recently died, lived full lives and gave them a hefty amount of inheritance. It wasn't my place, so I remained quiet, but now my wife's starting to say those self-deprecating things about her in comparison to Mia again. During the engagement party everyone was gushing over my son about how cute he was and that, thank God, he took after me. My wife has brown eyes and I have blue eyes. My boy has got the biggest brown eyes that makes me want to stare into them for hours. Yet her mom said, it's a shame he didn't get your eyes though. If this was Mia's child he would definitely have blue eyes too since hers is blue. It took all of me to not roll my eyes, but I just said, wife's name, has the most beautiful eyes I have ever seen and I thank God every day that my son has them. She took that as an ah moment and said, if Mia was alive, I'm sure I would be holding her baby with you now. You would love her very much. I wanted to freaking shout at her, but I always remind myself that people grieve differently and as long as they need to, but am pissed that she keeps her dead daughter on a pedestal but ignores and belittles her living breathing one.